What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? So today I'm going to be talking about a new album that just came out today. Of course, I had it for a little while now. Green Day's Father of All Motherfuckers. Those guys. So, let's see, where do we begin? So, back in, I think it was September, October, Green Day released a single, Father of All Motherfuckers. Of course, the ending was hyphenated. And pretty much it was a huge step in a different direction for the band, at least from all the material I've heard up until this point. The self-titled track for the album pretty much had Billy's voice distorted. The music was still the same, like that we're known for. However, that was already a nice little twist. Some people liked it, some people didn't. At the time when I heard it, I was like, it's different. I don't mind it. I just hope the rest of the album is not going to be like this, because then I'm going to have a problem. It's nice to do a track or two, but if you make the whole album sound and distorted like that, I probably would. This would probably be the first time I give the band a really subpar review, but that's not the case. So, about a week ago, or not a week ago, I would say about probably a few months ago, the band mentioned that they were going to, this was going to be a short album, like every track was going to be like anywhere from 2 minutes or less. And a part of me was like, okay, I get it. And people was like saying, well, you know, Dookie and Insomniac were like that. And I'm like, yeah, but the difference is that 26 minutes, Dookie and Insomniac were more than that because there was 14 tracks. This one only had 10, and I was kind of like, I guess you could say I've been kind of, a lot of us have been spoiled with the material where they've had like a lot of tracks where we're getting it cut. We're like, can you have a little more tracks? However, a few days ago, heard the album, at least a kind of distorted version of the album of vinyl, which was okay, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And I have to say, it's different. I don't see it comparable to any of the other albums. However, somebody did mention online that the album is kind of similar to Foxborough Hot Tubs, The Network, and then Green Day Mixed in One. And I can kind of see that because there's like at least 2 or 3 tracks are really Green Day, punk rock. And then there's tracks that are kind of similar to The Network, but not totally techno-ish. And then a lot of other songs are very similar to Foxborough Hot Tubs. So I think they incorporated those 3 types of sounds into the album, which is not a bad thing. I don't think listening to it multiple times, there wasn't a track I didn't like. There isn't a track that I'm kind of like, ugh. Like, every single track I really like. My only gripe with the album is that I just felt it would have been great if it was a 14-track album like Dookie and Insomniac. And I get, I get where they're coming from, if what they're trying to do. However, the consensus out there right now is that the reason why it's a 26-minute album is that the law states for record industry that any album that's over 26 minutes is considered an LP. And Green Day, their contract with Reprise is that they have to release LPs, not EPs, to be considered their contract. And I think from what we've been told, from what's been going on, is that Green Day has been having some issues with the record label, and from what my understanding is that the record label is not allowing them to release as much material as they would like, which is why, and I think some of that is just because the record label. However, I think a lot of that too is because Uno Dos Tres didn't get the promotion, or didn't get it wasn't a big hit for the band. It was almost technically a failure. However, that's also subject, it's not the right word to totally say, because you could say Insomniac was a failure, even though it wasn't. It's just they weren't able to tour off of those albums as much as they should have. And let's not forget that there wasn't that many singles. And unfortunately, Oh Love probably wouldn't have been the best single to open up Uno anyway. However, I'll get to those reviews at one point too. So that's another topic. So I think because of that, and then with the way the record industry is right now, I think the label has been limiting them to regards to how much content they can release. And the band is pretty much like, you know what? We're tired of that. We've been in the business for over 30 years. We want to release material when we want to release material. We don't want to be subjected to what we can and can't do anymore. We're tired of that. So I think in hindsight, when you look at the album cover and you look at the title track and then you look at how many songs are on the album, how long the album is, it's kind of like almost an innuendo of saying a fuck you to the record label. However, that's up for debate, speculation, of whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be surprised personally if that is the case. When you listen to the tracks, none of them are trying to mock or anything they've done. And the other thing that's noticeable is it's not about Trump, which a lot of people thought it would be. There's not Trump songs on there. However, what I got from the majority of the album is that everything is a criticism about our society right now in regards to how we view content, how people view the death of somebody, whether it's are you genuinely care about if somebody passes away, or are you just doing the normal thing of, oh, my condolences and sorry for your loss and okay, on to the next thing. Or it's like we've become more desensitized to where we care about other people. And when you listen to the tracks, there's a lot of that going around. Especially Father of All Motherfuckers is a good example. Oh yeah, if I would define the song that defines what the album is really about, I would say, oh yeah, it's not one of my favorite songs. I like it. However, if from the broad perspective, that is the song I think defines the album because of overall the theme of it. I feel that that's what they were going for. And the other songs kind of center around that to an extent. For my top 5 tracks, of course, Take the Money and Crawl is my favorite track. At first, Sugar Youth was my favorite track, but then when I just listened to it and kept listening to the album and then hearing the lyricism, I was just like, yeah, that's my favorite track. So Take the Money and Crawl, Sugar Youth. Then I would say Father of All Motherfuckers, Graffitia, and Stab You in the Heart. It was really hard to place those tracks because every track I really enjoyed. However, I would just say those are my top ones. I am interested to see where the band goes after this. I wouldn't be surprised if the next album is going to be another rock opera. I think they're probably saving that for being off Reprise. Who knows? My rating for the album, I would give it, right now it stands at 4.5 out of 5 yes sirs. I would give it a 5 because I really do feel it's a 5 in comparison to what they've done and where they're going. However, my gripe for that 4.5 is because there's only 10 tracks, and for everything I've been accustomed to with the band since the first album I listened to now, I kind of felt like you guys should have thrown in, even if the tracks were just like less than 2 minutes, throw in 4 more tracks. Just throw them in. Just, because 26 minutes is really short. And I get it, but it's not one of the things where I have to like it. So when I would look at ranking it with the rest of the catalog, it's really hard right now. I would say I like it better than Kerplunk and 1039. And that's just really, and that's not to say Kerplunk and 1039 are not good. It's just for what I'm going to listen to. Yeah. It's not, of course, Insomniac and Dookie and Nimrod, my favorite trilogy for the band. I would say, it's a step under that. However, it's not better than AI or 21st Century. But it fits in there somewhere around those albums, it has its moments, and it's an album I'm happy with what they did. I just feel should have put in 4 more tracks, And it'll be interesting to see where the band goes with after this, because it's like, are you guys going to keep releasing albums once you're off of Reprise, or what's going to happen? I hope to God that they don't go the route of just releasing EPs, because it's like, dude, guys, come on, if you want to take 5 years to release another album, go ahead, I get it. I just would like to hear albums, because I'm an album person. I'm not a singles person or like the 1 song person or 2 songs. I like to hear an album. So with that, we will cue the music.